One of Central Arkansas's biggest sources of drinking water is getting some extra protection from the utility that counts on it. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Rolly Hoyt.
And I'm Faith Woodard. Central Arkansas Water has made what looks like a small land deal, but it's much bigger than you think. THV 11's Ian Russell joins us tonight with more. Ian?
And Ian, I know you've covered some other instances with CAW working to keep Lake Maumelle clean. How's this step compared to some of their other ones that you've taken?
Yeah, guys, well, the last time we spoke to CAW, we were talking about invasive species in the lake. That was a pretty big deal then, and now we're talking about the areas around the lake. That's also a really big deal. CAW has bought thousands of acres connected to Lake Maumelle, and it's all to keep the water coming from your tap safe to drink. To call this lake pristine might just be an understatement.
Wonderful condition, pristine water coming from it, and we rely on it heavily.
And to get this water as clean as it is doesn't come without some heavy lifting and a whole lot of rules.
But they're there for a purpose.
Because Lake Maumelle isn't just a lake, it's a reservoir, and it's a critical part of our water supply, with millions of Arkansans' water coming from right here.
I think it's safe to say that there's an expectation among everyone that when you turn on the tap, the water is there, and it's clean, and it's safe.
Doug Shackelford with Central Arkansas Water knows the work they do on the lake matters, and what they do around it matters as well.
The management of the land is about creating this first filter. Everybody talks about going to the water treatment plant and treating the water and filtering the water there. Mother Nature is our first filter.
That includes the land surrounding the lake. CAW purchased thousands of acres near the western end with unanimous approval from their board. In doing that, they didn't just buy land to let it sit, they plan on fixing it to keep the lake clean.
So by creating a strong forest and allowing it to do the natural work that it does, we're just getting better water coming into this lake.
What they'll do is up to them, but Shackelford says it's all designed to make the lake and forest as healthy as possible.
The trees that were just really struggling to grow are now really growing strong because of that work that's done by our staff and others to ensure its health.
It may not seem like a big deal, but think about it. This is where your drinking water comes from. Wouldn't you want it as clean as possible?
That ideal of let's get in front of this, let's stay ahead of it. If we see an issue with the lake, let's deal with it now and not let it get out of hand. And again, it's just to provide great drinking water, which is what we do.
And Shackelford did share some things they may do on that land. That includes things like prescribed burns or cutting down some trees that may be harmful to the environment there. No matter what they do, he says it's to keep the water flowing into the lake as clean as possible, guys.